As our war in Asia gets bigger, a largely unnoticed victory over the communists has been decisively won in Southeast Asia. In fact, it is the single biggest defeat ever handed to communists anywhere in the world. And it was won without a single American soldier, American dollar, or bomb. It happened here. On the map, it resembles an abstract painting. It is, in fact, a chain of 3,000 exotic and bountiful islands. Together they form Indonesia, the world's 6th most populous country. Geographically, it dominates Southeast Asia, and politically, as the former ally of Peking, threatened to become the communist Southern Front in the malignant battle for Asia, a massive end run around Vietnam. 16 months ago, these beautiful and tranquil-looking islands exploded with stunning violence. Indonesia is still in a state of shock. Without warning, Indonesia's 3 million communists tried to seize total control of the government by killing their opposition in a single night of assassination. This act, in turn, was revenged by the slaughter and arrest of 500,000 suspected communists. The terror and the trouble is by no means over. Indonesia's present turmoil, conflict, and power struggle is not altogether new. The Balinese kecak, a kind of Hindu passion play, illustrates vividly the complex and alien struggle going on today. Here the priest blesses the participants, 100 men representing rival armies of monkeys, one good, the other evil, each convinced they are in the right. Today's real battle between the forces of good and evil rages in the streets. They demand social reform and political freedom. Their cry is not down with America or Yankee go home. What they are demanding, in effect, is down with the communists, Yankee come back. The garish leader of the forces of evil is a monster king called Rwana. President Sukarno, with flamboyance and arrogance, led Indonesia to liberation in 1945 after 350 years of Dutch rule. He also let his nation fall under communist influence, into bankruptcy and chaos. The good king, portrayed by a girl, is named Rama. Rama, with the help of his army, tries to save the country and destroy the evil forces of Rwana. Today it is General Suharto and his army that crushed the communist coup. It is Suharto that leads the effort to remove President Sukarno. The struggle between these forces is violent. It is unpredictable. It is emotional. In Hindu mythology, we are told the battle can never be won because all good has some evil in it and all evil has some good. The philosophy of the kecak dance is that the struggle will continue endlessly, with numerous subplots, intrigues, arguments, shifting loyalties, murders, and battles. This is precisely what's happening in Indonesia today.
Tolong ya, ayo.
With unprecedented violence, Indonesia on her own has handed the world its single biggest victory over the communists. But it is a complex and uncertain victory in the battle for Asia, and it is a troubled victory. Ted Yates, NBC News, reporting. In theory, at least, all factual information about Indonesia is contained here, the Bureau of Statistics. Before the United Nations was expelled 2 years ago, it spent about $1 million on such things as helping conduct a national census. But the census, like instruction on the Statistic Bureau itself, was never finished. When the Indonesian minister in charge of the census read the first depressing statistics, he denounced the UN survey as an imperialist plot, and the project collapsed. So virtually nothing is known about the world's sixth largest nation. They think their population is 109 million. They think they have something over 300 ethnic groups, 250 distinct languages, and a booming birth rate. They are trying to learn the size of their army and bureaucracy, as well as the condition of trade, industry, and manufacturing, the level of education, transportation, communication, and housing. It's slow work. They've run out of data cards for their 2 computers, so what statistics they do have are compiled by hand, computed on the abacus, a tabulating device invented in the 6th century. Vital as this job is, Indonesia's plight today is so far-reaching that the people hired to untangle the mess rarely come to work, and when they do, stay only half the day. Sanusi here is preparing to leave. After 33 years, he's now head of government agricultural statistics. His salary is $5 a month. With the galloping inflation, that supports his family of 8 for only 4 days. So to stay alive, he holds 2 other jobs. The statistics just have to wait. The main reason he comes to work is to collect his dole of rice, the standard supplement to salary in Indonesia's socialism. But these days, rice is scarce, so the United States is helping to supply some in the hope that people like Sanusi will not starve and will continue to work at critical jobs, even part-time. Before President Sukarno cut us off 3 years ago, saying, "To hell with your aid," America had given Indonesia $870 million. Now that Sukarno is losing power, we're back with aid. This is part of the new program. 50,000 tons of rice worth $9 million. It's being given on an emergency basis, and Indonesia is supposed to pay us for it in the next 6 years. The rice is not for the common people, but for the bureaucrats, like Sanusi, and for the army. About 3% of the rice never reaches its destination. Behind it all, radiating his famous charisma, is Bung Karno, or Brother Karno, named President for Life of Indonesia, though never elected by the people. Sukarno likes to be called the playboy of the Eastern world. He has 4 palaces. The Freedom Palace is where he works. The others are strictly for pleasure. Besides having the largest collection of nude art in Asia, he's a devout Muslim who's pilgrimaged to Mecca. But now he's at odds with his church. They claim he has too many wives, 6 instead of 4. But this is the least of his problems these days. The supreme farmer, the supreme Boy Scout, the supreme philanthropist, the supreme guardian of the justice, the supreme guardian of the Muslim faith, to mention a few of the titles he's conferred on himself, is being stripped of his power and implicated not only in the unsuccessful communist plot to seize Indonesia, but also for the economic ruin that strickens his country. Meeting with the great leader of the revolution is General Suharto. He's at his side not to help him lead the country, but to methodically lead him out of power. Suharto heads what is called the New Order. Relentlessly, they are opening to public scrutiny the corruption and conspiracies of his regime.